What does your video sound like? Go to artlist.io and get the best music and sound effects for your videos. This is not the real world.
What's up, playa? Yo, I'm about to do the craziest fucking live snip edit here.
Wait, what's up? Sorry, I didn't have my headphones on.
No, it's cool. I'm about to do some. Your camera's not on, by the way. I'm gonna have to do this live. You know, we're gonna have to hit this hard.
What are you talking
about? The raid didn't work, by the way. Based.
Wait, why didn't it? How did it not work?
That's what someone in the chat says. Pog. Weird.
Did fuck up? I have no idea. It said on YouTube that it was scheduled to do it. Weird.
Wait, is this happening on the Vanguard channel?
No, it's on the Circle Church.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I don't know.
The video link was private. Weird. That might have been my fuck up because the stream. I'm still learning restream.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna pee really quick and then we're ready to go.
Okay, cool.
What up, Griffin?
Hey, dude. One sec. I'm working on some bullshit. Live cutting.
Oh, nice.
Your video frames here.
Oh, gotcha.
That song was pretty good. Let's play that one again.
Oh, the like communist one?
You can hear it right now, right?
I can't hear the music.
On the Discord I'm presenting to you.
I don't hear anything other than your voice.
Okay. Guys, that was probably my bad.
Oh, it's all good. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, cool. For the real ones that made it. You saw the Google Doc I got, right?
Did you send it on Twitter?
Yeah, it should be like a few messages back.
Yep, got it.
Sick.
Oh god, I'm so excited to react to this Elon shit, bro.
Hell yeah.
Fucking cringe.
It's
Melania did a full interview. I didn't see that yet.
Yeah. I got a lot of crazy shit today.
Didn't she say it was gonna she was gonna charge like $500,000 to do an interview or something?
250,000. or pay for my dinner. It's the same price. Yeah, I know you can hear us. This is backstage, y'all.
The music?
No, I'm talking to the chat. The chat says we can hear you, and I said I can
we're
hear
live?
you. Well, I mean, we're in the pre-lobby. You know, I had to be live in order to accept the raid, which didn't work. You know,
so
incredible
people are
stuff.
listening to this great discourse.
Yeah, people are listening to the discourse. Hello, now we are live. Hello, hi, coming in straight.
Hello. The raid did not work, so everyone here is a real CJA fan.
You guys are the hardcores.
Yeah.
You guys are here to jerk our circle.
Honestly,
you know what I mean?
it might be a good thing because we probably had some people that had never tuned into our show watching that Kyle interview. You know, people that were like, "These are impressive young men, bright thinkers," and then all of a sudden they're right in the middle of a circle jerk. I don't know if that would have been a good second impression.
Wow, Gavin,
You're not proud of the work that we do here? Okay.
Gavin doesn't think that Griffin and I are genius comedians that would surely win them over with our first impression and our smile.
I would hope, but
you
would never know.
You would win me over with your first couple
It's
of
a divisive. It's kind of like Megalopolis. You know, we talked about that. I loved it.
It's
Will
art.
your average person?
But
Average person? Probably not.
The box office is low, but you know, but it's art. And is it misogynistic? Well, I'm not going to look too deep into that. YouTube notified me. All right, what's up, chat?
Misbehave on set.
So wait, can you guys seriously not hear the music from the screen I'm presenting? Click on the screen I'm presenting.
Oh, I gotta click watch stream.
He's got to. That's why. Come on, fucking Gavin. All right, wait. We have to warm up. It's a special day.
Wow.
Can you hear that?
Now we can hear it. Now we're in business.
It's a little low, but there we go.
This is how we always gotta start like this.
Just choppy as fuck. Just get in the green room with us, gang.
Yo, this is the real show.
You ever see Tyson jumping rope before a fight? This is as close as you'll ever get to it.
October 7th. Sorry, just doing my vocal warm-ups here. October 7th. October 7th. October 7th. Hello. And 3, 2. We are live. Hello, welcome. It is October 7th, the anniversary of a very sad time where Netanyahu, almost went to jail for tax evasion. Thankfully, I've been able to keep that at bay, but it's been a scary year. It's been a scary year for BB fans. BB fans
IRS,
everywhere.
The criminal terrorist organization, the Internal Revenue Service. I call them thieves and crooks. I call them criminals. That's what they are. They want to steal. You want to make a lot of money? I like to make a lot of money. BB likes to make a lot of money. And the IRS, they come and they take it away. And that's why our support for Israel critical at this time. We gotta hide our money somewhere.
Trump, we need to bomb all the Toys R Us's in Iran. Okay, we need to destroy all of the Toys R Us within Iran tonight, please.
I like it. I like that, BB. But I also, I love merchandise. I love products. Why don't we Why don't we do something else? Why don't we I like to do something. I like it to be big.
You're
huge.
yeah, you're right. Bombing Toys R Us, not big enough. We must think bigger. We must think much bigger. Something that can really make sure America can never get out. That America needs to come to save our asses immediately after. I'm thinking I send like 1,000 troops straight into Tehran. They all get kidnapped. And then we bring the U.S. soldiers in. We bring the big boys in. We lose 500 beautiful 19-year-old corporal general sergeants. And then the U.S. comes in.
Didn't we cover a story not that long ago about how like just normal people in Israel were like fleeing in mass? Essentially, they were all like leaving the country to go to their second home if they had one.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you looked the night of,
it's 25%. Yeah.
I was gonna say the night of the actual raid, it was like where the counterattacks were expected. Iran issued a warning in advance. All of the richest people in Israel got on a fucking plane to New York City. You could literally Google it. There were no flights out of Tel Aviv the day before the to New York City. Everybody was coming back to America.
Yeah, I mean that's what I don't get. Obviously Netanyahu's interested in himself. But isn't everyone just going to like dip at some point? Like at some point, you're not going to have a country left to defend. It's just literally a glorified military base.
Well, Benjamin Netanyahu was actually the first one that got the fuck out of there. He left Israel well in advance.
Yeah. It's just wild because you have to think anyone that's not like, unless that's your only place. But if you're like fucking Quentin Tarantino just living in Israel, like I would have left so long ago.
Wait, Quentin Tarantino is currently living in Israel?
He was before October 7th. I imagine that he's moved back to the States now.
Listen, man, my wife has been planting roots here for 18 months before we got married. We are settled in. I can't deal with the hysterical crime in West Hollywood anymore. I grew up in the ghetto, okay? I'm familiar with how it goes over there. And what I'm telling you is that you have to get a place in Tel Aviv if you don't want to deal with any kind of violence.
I know, listen, okay, Ben Gvir, he's obviously bad guy, Ben Gvir, bad guy, but he's kind of a badass too, right? Kind of a sick badass, right? Like you can see Ben Gvir in like a slow-mo shot, just like tearing guys up, right?
He wears a thin suit. He says the hard N-word. He's got a swagger to him. I think he could lead a cast. I'm with you, Griffin.
So when I wrote Reservoir Dogs, inside the suitcase was Israel's secret nuke. That's what was in the suitcase.
That's Pulp Fiction. That's Pulp Fiction.
Right.
You're thinking
I got
of
him
the
wrong.
briefcase in Pulp Fiction. God.
I'm sorry. I fucked it up.
With that, the bit is buried. With that, the bit is buried. We beat it to the dead ground. Gavin's about to have an ulcer.
All right, let's start.
Let's start. One more second of you two bastardized Quentin Tarantino's angelic voice. He's not going to stand for it. This is a man that is this man has a degree in cinema. Okay.
Speaking of people with great voices, Elon Musk at the Trump rally.
Let's start it.
Elon Musk. This is the site of Trump's former assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania, and you want to bring out this clown? Like, I just feel like if anything, Trump would realize that maybe this would like call for a more somber occasion. Like, I don't know, bring out the brother of that guy that got killed at the rally or something. Instead, he brings out Elon Musk,
the saddest man on earth.
Yeah, to go full like fucking Nathan Fielder over here and start jumping around and goofing off, and like it's just so fucking cringe, bro. I get that a lot of people don't hate Elon Musk as much as we do, but I'm like, who the fuck is being motivated to vote based on what this clown is saying?
Yeah, I think Trump realized the second he saw Elon on stage that he has young men right now, but he might lose them the second young men see that Elon Musk, the way he moves. Let's take a look right here live at returning to the scene of the crime here in Butler, Pennsylvania.
His name is Elon Musk. He saved free speech. He created so many different great things. Where is he? Come on.
So many things. I can't even list them. All these creations.
He created the first major American car company in generations, and his rocket company is the only reason we can now send American astronauts into space. Come here.
Isn't that great?
Take over, Elon. Yes, take over.
Those hops, that famous image of the hops was just so like Trump. There's an image of Trump seeing him hopping and being like, I fucking hate this guy.
It looks like Elon Musk has been taking whatever the opposite of Ozempic is. If you're just gonna carry all of your weight on your stomach like you're impersonating Santa Claus, it's like no. It's like Ozempic for people who want to bring back the pot belly, but it really got carried away. It's like you have a real price to pay for it. Now your stomach just keeps swelling and enlarging. He has enough money to keep it out of his face, but he's like Tim Allen, like, 45 minutes into the Santa Claus movie when he's like, does this look like a little weight to you? Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, he's mid-claws. He's mid-claws. He's kind of like he's like that one animal from Madagascar. What is it, like a lemur or something? The guy with the belly. It looks exactly like that.
The one that likes to move it.
No.
As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is.
Huge laugh there. He's riling the crowd up. They're getting it.
Killing it.
To be here, and the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire. And we had one.
100,000 standpoint.
100,000 people, six claps. I could hear about 6 people.
From a creative standpoint, it is interesting to analyze Elon Musk because it's kind of like what happens if you give Michael Scott $100 billion, right? I mean, he's going to go up there and do the most like humiliating interpretation of somebody else's bit possible, right? So he's going to go up there and like fist pump back and forth, and he's going to switch through like 4 different characters while he's on stage trying to see which one fits properly. And every single time it's just going to be more and more humiliating, and there's gonna be less and less of a pity laugh because it's like, oh my gosh, it's Elon Musk. And then once that wears off, it's like, oh, this man is just a 12-year-old boy that needs to be carted off stage.
It's impossible to bomb. Like you see, like Donald Trump Jr. comes on after like Trump heats up a crowd and like bombs hard, but like Donald Trump Jr. does better than Elon at like talking to a crowd.
One president who couldn't climb a flight of stairs, and another who was fist pumping after getting shot.
I mean, to be fair to Biden, we don't know how he would react.
Blood coming down the
It hasn't happened. He might do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Someone takes a shot at Biden, that he could have the exact same response. We haven't had that, study happen yet.
Also,
that's true.
Act like Donald Trump is the pinnacle of health or the embodiment of health is deranged.
and just like to complain about Biden now, because that's all you still have, even when he's not running, is the most beta fucking thing you can do right now. Like, they're all just wish it was still Biden.
Now, America is the home of the brave. And there's no truer test than courage under fire. So who do you want?
Oh my God.
America? Yeah.
Ooh.
Absolutely. And I think this election, I think it's the most important election of our lifetime.
Wow, where have I heard that before?
This is no ordinary election. The other side wants to take away your freedom of speech. They want to take away your right to bear arms.
Okay,
They
Papa,
wanna-
no.
They want to take away your right.
He doesn't
to
even
vote
have an American
effectively.
accent.
The accent is really coming out today. I am feeling, I'm ready to call ICE on his ass. I want to see his papers. Like when he's shouting louder, you definitely hear the apartheid a little bit more.
You got 14 states now that don't require voter ID. California, where I used to live, is just passed a law banning voter ID for voting. I still can't believe that's real.
Someone says, stop reminding me of when I got shot at in the chat. Yeah, that's the other funny thing is like Trump is so like clearly shaken by the assassination, and Elon just like describing the blood pouring down his face and everything, just putting Trump like right back there. It's got to be his worst nightmare.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Cybertruck thing when he got confronted with the giant Cybertruck, also a product of Elon Musk, right? Covered in the banner of him just after he got shot at. It was like, I don't know, dude. If you actually did go through that trauma, if you're not a total sociopath, if you do have the ability to experience trauma, you would think that like that sort of stuff would not necessarily just be like, teehee, like, isn't this an epic meme now? Like, dude, that's you literally almost getting killed.
And like also that they don't have any heat for the Secret Service. Like Trump's deathly afraid of blaming the Secret Service. Like in like any other situation, he would be like bitching and complaining that they didn't do their job. But like for whatever reason, the Secret Service is completely off the hook here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
You would expect more conspiracies and shit like that from Trump.
Well, they're coming from other people like outside, but Trump has like never talked shit on the Secret Service like since the assassinations. But you know,
that they could get a kid that's maybe a little bit of a better shot next time.
Right. I mean, but I'm not gonna make us watch any more of the Elon thing because I physically really can't bear it. But that's basically the vibe the whole time. He talked for like 4.5 minutes, and it was all basically that. He has been going on a lot about this whole bringing immigrants in to vote, and I just like how is that how do they vote? Normal people don't even vote. How are they voting? Is there a real way to do that?
They're not sending the good ones, folks. They're sending the rapists and the voters. The voters are coming, and they're not going back, folks. The voters are coming, and they're bringing the fentanyl. They're bringing the drugs, and they're bringing the votes too. The ballots are coming. The ballots are coming over the border, and they're not going to the Republicans, folks. They're not coming to us. No, no, no. If
they're
were
putting
coming to us, we'd like
fentanyl in the votes, in the mail-in ballots. Don't touch them.
Yeah, I guess my question for you guys would be like, obviously I'm in an echo chamber. I think Elon Musk is one of the most repulsive and unlikable people to ever walk the fucking planet. I hate that he has as much influence as he does and as big of a platform as he has, but is like, does anyone out there in America, does anyone still respect this guy? Are there people out there that still kind of just think of Elon Musk as like, oh yeah, he's like the Tony Stark, but IRL, or what? Like that was the image he tried so hard to cultivate. And for a while he was pretty successful at it before his ketamine addiction really destroyed his brain. You know, he was better at playing that role. He was kind of edgy and funny, and he would say, you know, stuff to powerful people online that made people laugh. But now I really just get the sense that he's so fucking cooked. And much like RFK, I seriously question who's being, like, what demographic is being reached with this? Who is Trump netting here that wasn't already on his side?
Well, I think it shows how tone deaf and removed Donald Trump is from reality at this point himself. It's given just total delusion, right? Because I think at one point Gavin's totally right. There was the Tony Stark illusion of, you know, Elon Musk, but I think that the more his public persona started to come into focus for people, the more he decided he wanted to be a tabloid celebrity and not just a billionaire and not just a tinkerer, right? Because he could lie and pretend that he founded Tesla. No, you named yourself the founder after you bought the company, you fucking liar. Yep. You know, you also did the same thing with fucking PayPal, which everybody thinks that you founded, and you never built a rocket in your fucking life for SpaceX. Exactly. You just had the capital. You were basically, you know, just an angel investor in all of these places, okay?
Yeah, he invented the idea that, like, he invented the idea that people want to send money to other people. That's like not, that's not even Facebook or anything. Like that's so basic. Like that that was invented 1 million times already. Like that's his that's his great claim to wealth.
Yeah. And then most recently, he's just completely fallen all over himself trying to restore free speech to Twitter, which it drives me fucking crazy.
The Twitter acquisition, I think, was the end.
Yeah, I mean, to anyone that actually has paid attention, like I get that a lot of people don't care about Twitter, but if anyone out there still thought Elon Musk was actually a good businessman or actually a genius of any shade, then his handling of the Twitter acquisition clearly disproves that. I mean, you can't live in reality and say that he's handled that company in a good way from a business perspective or from a free speech perspective. You can't even say that, like, oh, he just doesn't care about money and he really cares about the First Amendment. No, Twitter is more censorious now than it was before he bought it.
I'll push back on that. You know, I think that in one area, there's a lot more free speech. Yesterday, I saw a fan cam of Hitler. like a literal.
Okay, you're not
like,
wrong about that.
like literally, it was like Hitler looking cute in like 30 different video frames smash cut together like a fan cam. And you really didn't see that before.
Yeah, Elon Musk's free speech is like everyone now has to see that. Like that always existed, at least on Twitter.
Right.
It's not like everyone who posted a racist meme would instantly get banned and the internet death penalty or whatever. Like that's not something that was happening.
They're just shoved down your
maybe
throat.
If you posted that. Yeah, maybe if you got reported enough, or if you said something truly like disgusting, you would get banned. But like you could be racist on the old Twitter. Elon's new Twitter, it's like, oh, here's this random racist guy you never would have had to look at the content of, but now the algorithm has made it front page. Here you go. Enjoy this meme about why black people have half the IQ as everyone else, or like something disgusting like that. And you're
Here's
just like,
an excerpt from the bell curve.
right, just like some insane shit that's like that would have like if people back in like 1850 had the ability to make memes, this is what they would have been making. Like that's the kind of shit you see on Twitter now, front page.
Right, totally. But it does seem like when you are a ketamine addicted billionaire, all you have in life is projects. And so he's gone from just like project to project, like ruining them, like whether it's like Tesla and the Cybertruck to now Twitter. And now he's doing it for Trump. And Trump seems to be like fully his new project. Like it doesn't seem like he's going to meetings anymore. He's not talking about the newest cool Grok feature on Twitter. He's just talking about Trump like every fucking day. Please give me the theory, because I did want to throw this up while you share your theory. Elon is now paying people to vote. Elon says for every person you refer who is a swing state voter, you get $47. Easy money. So this is a petition in favor of free speech and the right to bear arms. By signing below, you're pledging your support, and you'll get $47 for each registered voter that signs this petition. I mean, that's kind of better than like the super chats you guys have been doing, right? $47 a pop. Like I maybe you guys try that till the election, see what that looks like.
That's hilarious. Yeah, no, that's a new low for sure. That's desperate as fuck. Who knows if it'll be effective, but my theory is that Elon Musk himself has political ambitions, or at least he wants to be in a position of political power. He obviously already has a lot of power, but unfortunately for Mr. Musk, and thank God for the fucking rest of us, he can't run for president of this great nation. Wasn't born here.
Yep.
Ineligible.
My favorite law.
What can he do? He can basically buy himself a front runner. He can buy himself Donald Trump, someone who has, in his eyes, probably about a 50% chance of becoming the next president. And he knows that Donald Trump doesn't have an ideology of his own. Donald Trump, unlike in 2016, Trump talked a lot in 2016 about how, I'm donor proof. I am the donor. I can't be controlled. I've been the one doing the controlling. Now, Donald Trump is pretty open about the fact that he'll just sell out to the highest bidder. And in this election, that's Elon Musk and Miriam Adelson, seemingly. It's one of the big reasons why I'm so anti-Trump is in this election specifically. It's because it's not even going to be Trump in charge if he wins. It's going to be Elon fucking Musk, and this country is Twitter. I don't want this country to turn into X. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you know what else I think it might be? I think it also might be a little bit of just petty fucking rivalry. Dude, Silicon Valley is a small world, and it's even smaller if you're a billionaire, because you're only going to engage and compete with other billionaires. And I wonder if you guys think this in this foray into politics is out of a competitive nature with Peter Thiel. Elon and Peter Thiel have always kind of had that like little neck and neck. Peter Thiel is to the right, Elon is to the left, but Peter Thiel is a huge ball player in American politics, whether you like it or not. That dude is a massive player now.
He knows balls.
I'm wondering if Elon Musk.
Why would he have picked JD Vance then if he has a beef with Peter Thiel? Because that's Peter Thiel's little puppet,
I don't think Elon Musk did pick JD Vance. I think that Elon Musk is just.
No, I'm saying, why did Trump pick JD Vance if he has it out for Peter Thiel?
No. Elon has it out for Peter Thiel. I'm saying Elon and Peter Thiel have always been competitive in Silicon Valley. Peter Thiel's developed so much political capital that I think out of envy and out of wanting to be able to showboat, and he has more money than Peter.
But
he wants to be more powerful.
There was a report actually that Elon Musk also helped convince Trump to pick JD Vance. From what I remember, it was his sons, Elon Musk and Tucker, was like the pro JD Vance brigade that ultimately won out. So
Yeah.
I definitely see what you're saying. There's a chance you're right. He's like, I don't want Peter to have more influence over this administration than I do.
Yeah, just petty grievance too. Not because he gives a shit, but because he doesn't want Peter to have something he doesn't have.
The only thing that Peter is gonna pick is JD's eyeliner each morning. That's Peter Thiel's main creative control, hopefully.
Yeah,
but I mean, what Elon did at Twitter,
AY lubricant they're gonna use when they fuck the working class.
what Elon did at Twitter was basically he showed up for like a week and like did like round table, like open firing conventions where he'd have people like come on stage, tell them what they do there, and if he got bored he would fire them on the spot. And I feel like that's what he would do to like the Department of Education or something. He would just like go in there, he would spend like 2 days actually working, fire so many people that like institutions start structurally collapsing, and then just fucking tweet more. So yeah,
move on to the EPA after that.
But you know, getting into just a few more things at this Butler rally that I did want us to just grab just to get more color on this Elon rally. Trump was playing Ave Maria.
Join me in a moment.
Oh my God, like the Riddler.
I mean, it sounds so much fun. Like, let's play the bells. How many people? Fight. How many people are like, what I love is this crowd is so not the Broadway crowd, but Trump just fucking shoves Broadway down their throat every single time. I love it so much. He also did thank the immigration chart that saved his life. That was a big moment here. He loves the chart and he wanted to give it a big thank you.
Lee, thank you very much, really. And thank you, a very big thank you to Pennsylvania. We love Pennsylvania. And as I was saying,
the chart, the slow zoom in on the chart like a coach on the field.
I love that. I love that chart. I love that graph. Lee.
He's gonna.
Graphs.
That's why you can now buy the Trump graph fleshlight. We wrap the graph around. It's a pocket pussy you can take with you. You can fuck the graph. Incredible graph. Beautiful graph.
Is actually a Venn diagram versus graph. That's your real choice in this.
So true. But you know, that was mainly the Elon Trump rally. It doesn't seem to have moved anyone, but been sort of a stage for Elon to bomb for 4 to 5 minutes. But staying in sort of Trump family territory, Melania has been out on the scene. She did like a few things for her book.
CJA After Dark.
Yeah, everyone.
This fucking horn dog Griffin can never keep it in his pants for an. That's why we had to call it Circle Jerk America. This guy will be like, "Oh guys, did you see like kind of the other day? You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, she was shot on the fucking House floor.
Nips. Marjorie Taylor Greene nip slip. Yeah, I'm like TMZ for Congress nip slips. I'm like Senator Jeff Flake had one ball hanging out. But you know, I got
seemingly had a half chub and a dusty nose. Fucking cast.
That's actually uncharted territory. We should check that out. But here she is. She's doing book stuff. Let's take a clip here. This is her actually talking about how much she loves abortion.
Individual freedom is a fundamental principle that I safeguard. Without a doubt, there is no room for compromise when it comes to this essential right that all women possess from birth: individual freedom. What does my body, my choice really mean?
You'll find out. We'll find out when we read Melania. So how do we feel about that? You know, not backing up her husband, you know?
My husband,
he take away all the rights for women. That is his belief.
That is
My
his
belief-
choice.
My belief is to go our own way.
I like how this stupid book she's dropping, like she keeps like hinting at or kind of promising these juicy reveals. Like, I'm going to talk about these controversial subject matters, like my nude photographs or abortion. But then the excerpts released from the book are all just chat GPT generated basic responses on those sort of issues. Like, you don't get the sense that she's actually sharing any personal gossip or tea or anything that would actually make it more relevant or interesting, given the fact that she's the wife of Donald Trump. Instead, it's just like you just get the sense it's what an AI would respond if you asked it to respond to one of those controversial issues. So I don't really even think it's that good of a marketing strategy. I'm like, you don't have anything better? You don't have anything more juicy than I have a basic blasé liberal take on abortion? Like, that's not really all that exciting, in my opinion, even if it's different than what your husband thinks. You know what I'm saying?
Melania bears all. What does that mean? Buy the book. Find out. Bearing all with Melania exposed.
Yeah, I realized while you were talking and while watching this that I was like, America has moved on from them as a couple. Like they're like, America does not but also like, no one cares, but like no one even thinks they're a couple anymore. Like they just think that Trump has his like weird new ladies. Like people think that Laura Loomer is the first lady now. Like that I don't see like Melania causing like I don't think it's possible for her to cause drama at this point, right?
Well, I think that there could be I think there's a possibility in a different reality that people would feel bad for her more, but she's just made herself such a cold and unlikable figure. I mean, her most famous moment was wearing that jacket that said, "I don't care, why should you?" or something, to the border. Like, she's almost intentionally tried to brand herself as a cold, uncaring person who has very little humanity. Like, that's just how, I mean, even with this new book stuff, like I said, it's not like you get a sense that these are her real, genuine thoughts that come from within and that she's being vulnerable. There's no vulnerability. It really does just seem like it was ghost written or chat GPT generated. And that it's like, is she even a real person? Is she a fucking hologram? Like, what is going on here? But there's not really much there. I think she would have a bigger fandom if there was. I think people would be more interested in her. They would actually get excited about this sort of a memoir. Again, if there was just more there, but it's like, who the fuck even is Melania? I don't really know, other than someone who's just willing to sacrifice any morals or principles. Because say she does actually care about abortion. Well, I mean, you haven't been a very good ally to the movement. You didn't say anything when your husband was in charge and when he was destroying Roe. You didn't do anything until now when you're trying to sell this stupid fucking book and get an interview appearance for $2,500,000 or whatever the fuck, or $250,000 or whatever she was asking for. So it really does just seem like she's a narcissist, and that now she's kind of trying to capitalize off of this drama between her and Trump, but still unwilling to go the full mile and actually spill any sort of tea or release a serious tell-all memoir, which I would be fascinated to read. I would love that. I'd be first in line.
Right. Yeah, it's right in the middle.
If I'm Melania's publicist, there's only one thing that you could do, and that's that she needs to, thread the needle, get back in the public spotlight, and launch a future for herself. She needs to one-up Kim Kardashian. She needs to drop a sex tape with Kanye.
Ooh.
Yes.
She needs to drop a sex tape with Kanye West. And let me tell you guys, it's
Kanye's getting divorced with his new lady. I'm sorry, I don't remember her name, but the new person he dresses up.
Wear clothes anywhere. It's always just like
she's gonna get to wear clothes again.
Ski mask on. It's always. I feel bad for her too, because I'm like,
she's like
enormous tits, and they're just out while you're eating dinner, and it's just like everybody that you interact with is just staring at your tits. You're not gonna get a single other fucking interaction from somebody.
I think she knew the role she was signing up to play when she took that job. If you know what I'm saying.
She's like
the team that has to be there for that does make me sad for her.
She reminds me of like when, in Harry Potter, Dalby gets freed by giving a piece of clothing, and I guess now she gets to wear clothing again because she's breaking up with Kanye. So I'm happy for her. But, you know, speaking of broken marriages and broken relationships, you know, we would be working against ourselves if we didn't mention the latest update with the RFK Jr. Sitch. Cheryl Hines talking about filing for divorce from RFK Jr., but he's begging her not to. Wow. Who could have seen this coming? I mean, now I thought maybe, you know, they're from LA. You know, a lot of people, they have those weird, you know, open kind of relationships. And that was always kind of the vibe that I got from those two. I mean, you're married to a Kennedy. She's a celebrity. You know, that's actually pretty normal for Los Angeles. And I'm actually still think that might have been the thing, but that, you know, in many of these open relationships, you do have to get permission still. And I feel like that's probably where RFK crossed the line.
Yeah, and you don't want to go in
humiliating public. Yeah,
I think you're totally right that probably has been their situation. I mean, it's well documented the extent to which RFK is a literal, actual sex addict. So no, I don't think that he just suddenly was cured as soon as Cheryl Hines came into his life. That being said, I agree with you. I think if she does divorce him, it's because she doesn't like being publicly embarrassed. She doesn't like being publicly humiliated. I mean, because she probably has other partners too, but now it puts her in the situation. It's like, what are you going to leak to the press that you're also fucking some hot young 30-year-old guy to like, so the public doesn't just think you're this victim of a cheating megalomaniacal asshole?
Yes.
Like, that's a weird position to be in too, and definitely not a healthy one if you have any actual love for each other.
Well, here, let me, you know, every marriage is different. I want to keep some elements private from my own home, but I do have to share a few things with you guys. You know, listen, Cheryl, she might stomp her feet and throw a tantrum, but I've got
Bobby
tied up in such legal mess that she'll never see the light of day in this country if she ever does leave me. And if she does, she's not going to get anything but a bus token. And I know, Cheryl, that would leave a mark.
What is RFK gonna put out in his will? Like half a dead coyote? Like what the fuck is? What is she gonna get in the divorce?
What she's not going to get is any divorce papers ever served to her. I'm a Kennedy, and we understand legalese. I mean, we have what's called the Jacqueline package, okay? And that's no matter how unhappy your wife is. You know, our family has resources beyond belief, and they're not going to let you embarrass a Kennedy in a political crisis like this, especially at this time. Now, if I could just clarify a little bit,
please.
Some rumors have leaked to the press that I had been involved with a woman who interviewed me. I want to reiterate, I was a victim. I, at times, struggled with relapsing to my very terrible sexual addiction. It's a genetic disorder. I am magnetically pulled to pussy of any kind.
I mean, that's a good enough excuse. I mean,
the woman knew that she could use that to manipulate me, but don't worry, it's being dealt with.
Well, Bobby, it seems like you're not dealing with it well, because it says here she's been talking about filing for divorce, but he's begging her not to file, the source tells People of the Pair. But how many times can you forgive a partner that's dishonest and goes behind your back? It's just ridiculous behavior from a grown married man.
I don't respond to unnamed sources. I won't respond to unnamed sources.
I mean, it's kind of like the J.D. Vance situation becoming Donald Trump's VP. It's like, do you know what happened to the last guy who took that job? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm sure people told Cheryl at the time, but it's like, his last wife is dead. You know what I'm saying? She killed herself. Like, what do you think do you really think it's going to go down that much different for you? I'm sure, I'm not saying she's going to commit suicide, but I just mean like, yeah, clearly this is not a person you want to be with.
Mamma mia. Al Pacino's girlfriend.
Wait,
Bill
it's not.
Maher's.
Hachi machi, bucca beppo, little Italy. Folks, you know, while we're talking about
Arancini, he's sticking her with his tiny weenie.
while we're talking about all the old Arancini in LA, Bill Maher, 68, and Al Pacino's girlfriend, Noor Alfala, 30, seen leaving the Chateau Marmont together in LA. Wow. This is huge. Look at this. I mean,
he's obviously driving under the influence, for one. Let's talk about that.
This is a DUI right here. If any cop bothered
did
to pull him over.
Did she leave Al Pacino, or is she still technically with him? Like, what's going on here?
New rule, Al. I get the weekends, and you get the weekdays. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the SZA rotation. Okay, I put on my Spotify. Okay,
was that Tarantino again?
No, that was yeah, brutal critic over here.
I was like, wait, what am I missing? Did he enter the picture? Was that Bill Maher?
But I mean, so it's interesting, like Bill Maher, I thought he was more into maybe he's like he's getting too old for the sex workers. Now he just has to go for like the normal gold diggers or whatever. But I have a lot of respect for this woman because she's dated exclusively senior citizens for like 15 years. She's dated like all sorts of rich people from all over. And so, I got to give props to her.
She's got that Emmanuel Macron mindset.
She does. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's the story. Oh, wow. Here they are spotted here.
Is it the same car? It looks like the same shot.
They just have a fucking jizz mobile. Yeah, so listen, guys, I'm just saying in LA, there's a lot of openness there. It's a more advanced society over there, okay? Where, senior citizens are having lots of sex.
Look at that last sentence there. Pacino and Alafa have been romantically linked since April of 2022, around the time the latter nearly died from COVID-19.
Whoa.
I was actually reading an article recently about Al Pacino and how he only did the Jack and Jill movie because he literally needed the money. I always wondered why you would disgrace yourself like that. Obviously, he did the whole Dunkachino bit. Really, it truly embarrassed himself at that late stage.
I thought it was
his
cool.
Career is such a. I mean, that's a take, but apparently he was fucked over in some sort of Ponzi scheme that affected a bunch of celebrities. Actually, lost basically everything and had to take that money or take that role just for the money.
Was it Bernie Madoff?
I'm not sure.
Because I know, what's his fuck? John Malkovich lost a shit ton of money to Bernie Madoff, which was interesting.
It might have been. But either way, Al Pacino is an interesting motherfucker. Yeah. Bill Maher, I guess he didn't succeed in getting the Hawk Tua girl to go on a date with him or whatever.
Right. Well, while we're talking about, girls getting money, let's if you guys watched Kamala on Call Her Daddy yet at all, not a ton to say here, but we should watch a clip just because we should get a taste and then we should see what some of the reaction has been from
I didn't
some
even
of the
know who this chick
conservatives.
was until Kamala went on the show. Apparently she's huge though.
Me too.
She's
I also found out about her.
So she's basically like what people say the female Joe Rogan. She basically has lots of like female celebrities on and kind of just talks to them about girl stuff.
What's the name of the show in reference to? I was like, call her who daddy?
The sex things. Having sex. You know how women traditionally call the man daddy when they're having sex.
They want to be called daddy.
Yeah, because she's leading the podcast. She's taking it back. Okay,
I'm not judging.
Not CNN. I'm not Fox. Like I am a woman who is talking about her experiences on my podcast, and I have millions of women that tune in to connect with me and to connect with whoever is sitting across from me. And I want to pose this question more to you and the Daddy Gang, but
Daddy Gang.
One of the biggest conversations in this year's election revolves around a woman's body.
Yep.
I want to take a moment, and can we try to think of any law that gives the government the power to make a decision?
I know what you're going to ask.
About a man's body. Let's
No.
Is there any law?
No.
It's very megalopolis right here. Oh, Gavin's gone. He would have loved that reference.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually, I don't know if it was in direct response to this, but like, hand to God, I was at
a coffee shop this morning, and there were two people debating Kamala Harris, and they were two women that they couldn't have been older than 25, probably somewhere like 20 to 25 range, and they were talking about like, yeah, I wish that there was something we could do about Gaza, but women's reproductive. I guarantee they may have watched this very podcast because I hadn't heard of it, but that doesn't mean anything. If she has millions and millions of people watching, if it is like the female Joe Rogan experience, I bet that's the impetus for what I just heard this morning. That's crazy the reach this has.
Yep, exactly. Benjamin Netanyahu called me daddy.
No. Look, we are
You'll
a work in progress.
you'll have to get in line. A lot of people call him daddy.
But here's one of the many things I so love about our country. Part of the strength of our country and our evolution as a country has been through the fight for the expansion of rights. Not the restriction of rights, but the expansion of rights.
All right, so that's basically like the whole
That's a good answer.
That's basically the whole deal there. And so the conservatives kind of latched on to this part right here where they're like, you don't think the government has control over men's bodies? So this is Ben Shapiro's kind of clap back. He goes, actually, pretty much every law gives the government some power over men's bodies and women's bodies. That's how laws work. In fact, if you mean laws that apply to men and not women, how about the draft? Or divorce laws, which are frequently stacked against men. I'm like, wait, what? Pause. Wait, Ben Shapiro has hot takes on divorce laws? like what is
He's
going on there? He's not going to
bring up circumcision, though. He's not going to bring up circumcision.
That doesn't sound very godly to me. I mean, like, I don't know what goes on and how he follows religion, but do
you know what he's talking about?
Divorce law? I mean, like, I know what, like, divorce law when Andrew Tate talks about it, but I didn't know Ben Shapiro was whipping out divorce law.
Well, JD Vance has actually been talking about that a lot recently, and they do want to get rid of no-fault divorce because it'll basically financially ruin women that leave their husbands, and it doesn't give them any outs, and it doesn't give them any escape, and so it basically forces women to stay in bad marriages because they know that they're not going to have any resources from the state. The man will blame them for wanting the divorce. Then they're not going to get any alimony. It's going to be harder to get child support. It's going to be harder to get half of everything, that you're entitled to. And that's what he's talking about. He's signaling to all of those jabronis like, hey, these divorce, it's harder on the men. They're going to take all of your money if you get divorced. We should have these no-fault divorce laws. That way, if you want to get divorced, everything is just like a clean break. The man gets to keep everything and the wife has to go pack it.
Yeah, these are also just the classic like MRA talking points. You always hear the men's rights people talk about this when they're like, feminism isn't necessary because actually it's men who are discriminated against. And then they'll always, without fail, trot out the draft, divorce, and then usually circumcision too, which obviously Ben Shapiro can't because he supports that. And obviously those are things worth talking about. I'm not saying you can't talk about those things. They, of course, are worth discussing, but I do think it's funny that Ben Shapiro just goes right for that predictable line.
Also, with the circumcision thing, it would be totally different if they forced you to get circumcised. That would be a more comparable analogy, right? If you were forced to be circumcised by the government, which would never pass in the
Hi, hello. Yeah. We exist. I'm right here. we are you. They walk among you. Okay. I mean, the other thing is like this big part. I saw a lot of the Daily Wire crew going off about the draft, and it's like, what draft? What draft is happening right? Am I like web footed and I didn't know it? Are people getting drafted? Like I feel like I'm still. I mean, you guys definitely are drafting age. I feel like I could still be drafted.
I have one kidney. They're not taking my ass. I'm flat footed. I have bone spurs. I don't wash my ass. What do you want to hear? I'm not going to the war.
I unfortunately physically really bad, but I'm too good at video games, so I do think they would draft me into something somehow.
They'll give you a drone operator gig.
Griffin's gonna get like in the United States is gonna fall like Ukraine, and he'll be 48, and he'll thought he made the cut, but they're actually gonna put him right on the front line with a sawed-off shotgun and 2 left boots.
Yeah, exactly. But so yeah, this whole draft thing, it's just like what. Well, no. First of all, no one likes the draft, and the draft isn't happening. So I don't know what this gotcha is, but that's all they got from call me daddy. Unfortunately for the conservatives, I have been seeing a lot of people talk about the comment section on the video not doing well and there being like a lot of dislikes, but I think conservatives just kind of own comment sections a little bit more than like the liberals. And you said two ladies were talking about Call Her Daddy right in your coffee shop or whatever, so that's great. But one last note before we move on, it was revealed that Bill Kristol is actually a founding member of the Call Her Daddy gang. Bill Kristol, the GOAT, the OG,
Wait, how is he...
loves Call Her Daddy, and is a founding member.
Did he just give her a lot of money to start the show? Is that what that means?
I'd like to think he's like a tier 3 pay pig. He's paying like the $30 monthly, and then he's giving lots. He's doing lots of donos.
Yeah. They'll just come out and say that it's all hate watching. It's all just hate watching.
But Kamala seems to be doing really well with like white college educated voters right now. And it seems like that's probably a lot of the women that listen to Call Her Daddy. So it seems like she's just kind of doubling down there, which is probably good.
I get this. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I get the sense there's a lot of crossover between this Call Her Daddy thing and like true crime shit. Like a lot of women that talk like that host woman also do true crime podcasts. They like do their makeup while they talk about some brutal murder that happened or something, which I don't judge. I actually like that content. It's something that I enjoy watching myself, but I did immediately get the vibe that it has a Venn diagram. There's a cross section there.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like most of those people, I mean, actually, I don't know. Like that actually might be like a huge bipartisan form of entertainment where like every type of woman
100%
watches true crime.
Bro.
My
sister is in her 20s. She's obviously a Democrat voter, but she loves true crime. But then I'll also talk to like my 65-year-old aunt who's a diehard evangelical Christian MAGA supporter. She's also on the same page.
Oh yeah, my old boss that's I think trying to be a cop now. Yeah. She also would play true crime constantly.
Trying to be a cop, like failing the cop academy over and over again or something. Like what's going on there? She's just in the academy.
The proximity to booze was such a problem. They needed to be in closer proximity to something else.
That's usually not a deal breaker. But yeah, like I mean, maybe there is some crossover there. Maybe Kamala they need to put out season 2 of Tiger King with Kamala. Kamala needs to get on one of those tigers and take this thing home.
Kamala Harris prepared to pardon Joe Exotic?
Yeah, I think that would be really good.
Campaign promise that would unite the people. You know what? Joe Exotic, he wasn't meant to just rot behind bars in Oklahoma.
It is interesting, though. I feel like we talk a lot about the podcast space as it relates to young men, the Joe Rogans, the Theo Vons, all that kind of stuff. But I feel like, this is a bit of a blind spot for me, probably just because I'm a man. But I didn't even know about this podcast. I had no idea that this was like the Joe Rogan of women, essentially. That's I just didn't know about it. I'm like, shit. I thought I had, I thought I talked to women. I guess not enough.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the Candace Owens podcast was going to be enough, but I guess there's other women out there other than Candace and her truths. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess while we're on 2024 stuff, Harris was also on 60 Minutes, so let's take a look there. Did you guys watch this?
Not yet, but also nobody can hear.
I saw her dog shit answer on Israel. Yes, it was fucking.
We supply Israel with billions of dollars in military aid. Mm-hmm. And yet Prime Minister Netanyahu seems to be charting his own course. The Biden-Harris administration has pressed him to agree to a ceasefire. He's resisted. You urged him not to go into Lebanon. He went in anyway. He has promised to make Iran pay for the missile attack, and that has the potential of expanding the war. Does the U.S. have no sway over Prime Minister Netanyahu?
The aid that we have given Israel allowed Israel to defend itself against 200 ballistic missiles that were just meant to attack the Israelis and the people of Israel.
And I think we spent a year's worth of missiles on defending that attack. So like Biden might be like drying up our missile reserves enough that America could be defenseless, which is actually kind of praxis, I think, right?
Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous though. Like, how hard is it just to talk about fucking peace? How hard is it to say we're gonna fucking end the war, man? Like,
so
even if it's a lie, just fucking say we're gonna end the war.
lie to me. Come on, that's what politicians were supposed to do. Now they're all being just truthful and saying that nothing is going to change. It's incredible. So he does some pushback here. Let's see.
Create a ceasefire, and we're not going to stop in terms of putting that pressure on Israel and in the region, including Arab leaders.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by
movements.
or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
We need to be unburdened by what has been.
When Israel bombed the World Central Kitchen, we did that. We told them to do that. We gave them the coordinates. So I mean, guys, it is October 7th. I don't really know where else to kind of take it other than with our big boy, one of Israel's greatest defenders here, John Fetterman, who's going to ring it in for us, break it down for us. The big style. Let us know what's really up on October 7th.
Hi everybody.
Yeah, what's he doing in his swamp?
Yeah, let's flood the swamp.
And I'm here in my office here in Washington D.C. It's a very, very sad and traumatic day and an anniversary for October 7th in here. After what's been done,
really cool transitions in this video.
And after the last year and the trauma,
it's like those Biden videos where there's like 17 edits in 30
yeah.
seconds.
Yeah. If you had to put both their brains on like a science lab thing, like it would have to be like the Coke taste test where you really couldn't tell until you tasted them.
Great sorrow that what you've been through. But I want to also emphasize that my voice, I've tried to be a very consistent and moral voice throughout all this. And I can promise you that's not going to change until everyone's brought back home and there's peace back in that region. So again, I'm so sorry for this terrible, traumatic anniversary, but we stand with you here in Washington, D.C.
This is like the kind of video the guy that they said was trying to assassinate Trump outside Mar-a-Lago would put out about Ukraine. I mean, it's so disconnected from reality. It's just like, I'm here and I'm very involved in your suffering is real and my voice isn't going anywhere and I stand with you and we're going to bring the hostages. Dude, shut up. Just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
At least John Fetterman though, and again, I hate to give him credit for anything, but at least if you compare his tone on the subject matter or his answers or whatever compared to Kamala, at least he seemingly does care. I don't know, and I disagree with where he comes down on the issue in every way possible, but you really do get the sense that Kamala just doesn't give a fuck about foreign policy. Like Fetterman's like, yes, I do care. I just am on the side of the genocidal fascists. Kamala's like, oh yeah, we're Israel. We've been working on peace and movements in the region, and it's like, what the fuck are you like? Do you even know what's going on? I don't know if she does.
No, she sounds dumb. It's it's not a critique that you could make of Kamala often when she's on a roll. Like she does sound like a sophisticated lady. When she was having that exchange, she sounded dumb as rocks, and it was because she has nowhere to go. She's backed in a corner, and the only other thing that she could say is the reality, which is, we're going to continue to let Benjamin Netanyahu do whatever he wants.
Someone who's massively unpopular. It's like, I feel like even people that like Israel, a lot of people, they might not know a lot about Israel, but they know that it's a country that their Jewish friends might vacation in or something. They think of it as being more of a developed country than surrounding neighboring countries, right? But I still feel like it would be a net benefit for Kamala to seem like she's a tough leader who's able to stand up to a guy like Netanyahu when push comes to shove, right? Even if you like Israel, you don't want to be Israel's bitch. You don't want America to be cucked to a foreign nation.
No, we do actually. Actually, we do, and actually, that's the only way to stay in college, to not get expelled. That's got to be the way to do it. Yeah, I mean, And what are we do? I mean, like between her and then things like today, or this actually it was like a day or two ago, when talking about hitting Iran, this is the great clip we got here from Biden when asked about attacking Iran's oil fields, raising some gas prices right before the election. Let's take a listen.
We're in discussion of that. I think that would be a little anyway.
He's so afraid of pissing off Netanyahu. It's crazy. He's such a little bitch, and he has no brain function up there. Oh my god.
Hey,
He's gonna get us all killed.
Mr. President, what do you think? The nukes are in the air. They're heading towards D.C. Oh, Donald Trump. Okay. See you later. Like it's wild. So I do like kind of feel like she is in a corner because he is such a brain dead psychopath at this point. Like, but you know, that's the intractable situation of 2024. But on October 7th, we need to remember certain people. And who are those people? Israel's content influencers. The people since October 7th to 365 days later have been beclowning themselves online, defending these people. And they've been pulling out some bangers, of course, on the holiday, on the anniversary. I mean, but you know, one of my favorites, of course, Brianna Wu here, she would not be outdone. She says, "Free Palestine openly calling for violence and terrorism. The KKK regularly came to my college, Ole Miss, to protest, and we let them. It's a free speech issue, but they never openly called for violence like Free Palestine."
What the fuck? What were they calling for then? Like peace and rainbows? Like, oh, the Nazis in Ole Miss, they were actually there to hand out pregnancy tests or something. Like, what the fuck?
They were defending the poor students from the woke mob.
All they wanted was a few extra water fountains for certain students. That's all they wanted. Okay.
Yeah, the left loves private bathrooms until the KKK comes and asks for them.
Exactly.
Also, in this clip that she posts, are these people like demanding violence happen?
Let's hear it. Let's hear the children.
They're saying stop fucking genocide.
Yep, stop
How's
fucking
that a call
genocide.
for violence?
Well,
that's literally the opposite. Like just straight up, there's no other way to slice it. It's the opposite of a call for violence.
Many people felt very unsafe after that.
It's a call to end violence, and Brianna was like, "They're calling for violence."
Yeah, I mean,
what
she's
the
been.
Fuck? Did she get bimbofied? What the fuck happened? Did she take the substance?
She took the Tel Aviv version of the substance.
What the fuck? It's a filter.
She touched the wall and the substance came out and changed her forever, made her protect the Israelis forever. Yeah, she does have some sort of venom symbiote going through her brain. But you know, I don't know how much you've tracked. I mean, she has been like a hardcore Israel head all year, kind of saying like the stupidest stuff. And I kind of have felt bad for Israel because like all the people defending them are just such fucking clowns. Like they can't even get off one tweet that like makes sense. And Brianna's been kind of the queen of that. I mean, were y'all aware of her like in her like gamer days, like when she was like,
no.
So, I mean, her whole deal was basically she's like from a rich family that gave her like $250,000 to start an animation business. And then they gave her money to make a video game. And it was like a crappy phone iOS game called like Revolution 60, I think is what it was. And then she just kind of parlayed that in talking about Gamergate. And it was always just kind of like rubbing like her only two brain cells together, even during like Gamergate stuff. But then she just has gone like full fucking APAC. I mean, I know for a fact she has worked at APAC in the past. And so, I mean, she definitely is getting paid to do this stuff. And do you think that she has had a net benefit for the Israelis? Like, do you think accounts like this are helping them in any way? Because they do get attraction online.
I mean, I don't know. I think the reality is that the Israelis aren't relying on any kind of coverage. They're not relying on any kind of, rehabilitation. The United States has made every single person in this country feel so utterly powerless in the face of our extreme militarism that I think they just spend money on this to make themselves feel better. Like they have something in Israel to read from Americans who agree with them, because otherwise it would be like, yeah, these people are all fascist lunatics,
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's just, they just can't be normal or like do anything even slightly sympathetic. Here's what's going on Israeli LinkedIn right now. So this is post the Iran strike. So she talks about 181 ballistic missiles were just fired at us. I was in our safe room with my family, explosions outside, and I was wondering if I should cancel a call, but I didn't. Because this year has been more than just surviving. It's been about building, despite everything thrown at us. So we built Zugit to change that story. That's right. We can do apps still in Israel. They can still make apps. They can do startups still, no matter how many missiles come down. Yeah,
ingenuity.
I think the brain drain is cope. I think all the smart app makers are going to stay, and they're going to develop Zugit. What do you think Zugit is?
I have not the foggiest idea. Probably a made-up company where somebody can invest and then get like a data output that they could have gotten for fucking $10, but it's a tax write-off for them, and it's juicing the Israeli economy with fake fucking startup numbers.
It's probably like a location app to let you know how many Arabs live near you. Like that's probably my guess for it. But October 7th, it's here. It's queer. It's LGBT pro. And yeah, I mean, that's any last words on October 7th, Zach? Any big thoughts?
I think we've pretty much about summarized that one.
Okay. I've got two options for you. We can end on the DNC twink getting canceled, or we can talk about Valentina Gomez exposed for having gay friends.
Let's go with that Valentina Gomez, a recurring character, a cast member on the Vanguard. We'll round out with this one, everybody. GOP candidate who called drag queens pedophiles, caught partying with who? Drag queens.
Shocker. No.
Every accusation is a confession.
This is devastating to find out, because she was the number one. She's been the number one ridoid reply guy for a long time, and now she's let it all go for a little dancing in New York City. She spent this past year attacking LGBTQ plus people with slurs and weak and gay accusations, but she was partying with Aquaria from Drag Race. Wow.
Do you think like she was literally hanging out with this person, or they were both just happened to be in the same club or whatever?
Let's find out. So she was obviously dancing at this club. Valentina danced along. Wow, we've got photos of here. Man, I got to go out more. I'm seeing all these insane Republican women out on the town in New York City. The town is changing. Okay. Oh wait, what's okay.
Video obtained by LGBT. And someone in there was like, "Oh shit, is that who I think it is?"
It's the weekend gay girl.
It is kind of funny though, similarly to what you said about Donald Trump and how he's like always like channeling Broadway and stuff. Like there is a weird thing where like a lot of these really crazy Republicans are like they're kind of gay. You know what I'm saying? They kind of channel that culture sometimes, like with the campiness and stuff like that. I'm not an expert on gay culture, but someone once made the point to me that like Donald Trump is actually in many ways a gay icon, right?
Yes, 100%. I mean, his love for Broadway, his cattiness. He's a mean gay. His bravado.
And a lot of, again, not to paint with a broad brush, but a lot of people in the LGBT community, they're not like these pearl clutching sensitive virtue signalers. They actually like edgy humor. They like being like colorful and offensive and stuff. I mean, that's a huge part of drag culture.
Conservative. Like a lot of them are conservative. Like, if I'll show you like a picture of an LA pool party, and I would say like 80% of them would be conservative if they were like forced to be asked about certain issues, at least in West Hollywood. But Valentina has responded. She says, "Lol, it's impossible to party in New York City without a strap nearby. My hips don't lie, neither do I. Wow.
Oh my god.
She's coming out in front of the issue. My tapes were leaked.
A faggot took a video of me at
Oh my god, sorry. Damn it. Damn it.
It's okay, we'll bleep
a party and leaked it to the press. It wasn't a Diddy party, but the Valentina tapes are officially out way before the Epstein tapes, the January 6 tapes, and the Diddy tapes. These hips don't.
Wait, why are you comparing your tapes to the Epstein tapes?
Every accusation is a confession, Griffin.
It's also like, as I said, like she would actually make a good judge on Drag Race or something.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She kind of has that fire, that energy. Like she could
100%.
She doesn't have to use her powers for evil.
Yeah, and I would say, like, you know, based on her whole look, like gay Latin men invented her whole look. Like her hair, her sassiness, like she owes so much to them, and she should stop fighting, you know. Yeah. I only reply to one person on Twitter, and it's Valentina Gomez, because I'm her number one reply guy.
Horn dog.
But I have been trying to hold her to task though, because unfortunately, Valentina, if you are like name searching on YouTube, watching clips with under 100 views, Valentina, you're too pro-Israel, and that's not America first. She claims to be America first on all these issues, is anti-war, anti-Ukraine,
but with every Trump supporter though.
But with Israel, you know, you're being very America last right now, and it's a huge turnoff. And I've been replying to you in all your tweets. You haven't replied back.
Griffin, what you don't understand is that Israel is America.
True.
That's true. She knows something I
Don't
don't.
lie, and neither do I. So out of the kindness of my big, beautiful heart, I'll think about going on Dancing with the Stars, because as the new face of MAGA, I am the only one who can shock the ratings and
This
make
new
Dancing
face
with
of
the
MAGA
Stars
came in
great again.
6th place.
Yeah.
Shakira.
Every new face of MAGA is just like a fucking straight loser, like Carrie Lake or all these people. Like, what the fuck?
My favorite thing is she got fired from her dog food company, but she made a video saying she fired herself, like outside the dog food company. Like these people, like
you fired to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. She boardroomed herself. So you know, Valentina, I do think that there's a big future ahead of you, but you got to get off the Israel thing. Okay, you have to go to the Candace Owens lane. Just be anti-Semitic instead. You know. I mean, that's all I got today, guys. Anything we missed? Anything we missed?
Anniversary down. It was a hard day for all of us here at Circle Jerk America.
Yeah.
Our hearts were with the hostages. You know, we thought about using the weather machine down in Tampa to you know extract some revenge, so the people in America could understand the pain of what we were suffering. You know, that day. But you know what? Only time will tell. You'll have to hit the like button. You'll have to hit the subscribe button, and you'll have to come back to Circle Our Jerks next week. Maybe we'll get the raid function to work properly.
Yeah, we'll get the raid function to work properly. Oh, you know what? Let's end off with a bang. Blackface congressman.
I can't change what happened 18 years ago. But I certainly, with wisdom and age, understand that is not something I would do today. And certainly understand why people would be upset or offended by it. And for that, I'm sorry. But, you know, for me, there was no ill intent. There was no effort to malign or make fun of or disparage.
Just like those neo-Nazis at Old Miss.
Yeah, exactly. This guy, I'd let this guy protest in blackface before I'd let a Palestine protester.
It was really an effort to pay homage to somebody who was a musical idol.
Pay homage?
Yes. So he did blackface of Michael Jackson before the white surgery. So it's an homage.
I've always loved Michael Jackson's music and his dance moves and his ability to entertain.
This guy's like, no, it wasn't racist. I'm a huge fan of black culture. I really just wanted to emulate it.
I mean, yeah, and that was also the excuse of the minstrel shows back in the day.
Right.
That was straight up their kayfabe.
It's really not, what I think could truly be construed as blackface.
I'm looking at the man in the mirror.
It's like when you have to prove intent to commit a crime or whatever. Like it's not blackface unless there's proof it was done from a place of bigotry.
Yeah, it's not intent to blackface by the ICC courts. Yeah, I mean, this is so great that it's just like Republican after Republican. I mean, we had like Mark Robinson come out with his stuff, and now here we have a second Republican black Nazi. Incredible stuff.
Shout out to this guy. Who the fuck even? Mike Lawler. Wow,
Mike Lawler.
So many scandals these days. I didn't even hear about this one.
Yep, and that's what we're here for, folks. We're the aggregators for all of the blackface apologies. Folks, Circle Jerk America. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Peace out. Bye.